who is in your Championship 2020/21 team of the season? That's what I'm asking a very happy Brentford Clive today. Clive, how are you?
Oh, over the moon, mate, as you can tell by the grin on my face.
Yeah. Obviously, if you haven't seen the playoff final was yesterday, and Brentford are up into the Premier League for the first time in their history. Come on, then, sum up Brentford's season and that game for us yesterday.
Well, the season has been absolutely unbelievable. After selling our 2 goal scorers last year to yourselves and Aston Villa, it was like, what are we going to do now? But then in comes Ivan Toney. And right from the start, he's been absolutely amazing with not just the goals he's scored, Jake, but his overall work rate and his defending as well. And it's because of players like him and the extra experience that the others have gained from last season. Somehow, this season's been even better than last year. We've only lost 7 games in the entire season, there's only been 1 season in our entire league history where we've lost less than 7 games, and you're going back to 1934 for that. Our goal scoring is second to none. The season has just been absolutely incredible. We had a 21-game undefeated run. That was ended with 3 straight defeats, which started to rock the boat a little bit, but then we ended the season with a run of 12 games undefeated. So the season has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah. A lot of unbeaten runs there and a lot of games. So fantastic season, and up into the Premier League, which I can imagine, and by your face, you're absolutely buzzing to see.
Yeah, I just can't believe it, mate. Can't believe it.
Yeah. Do you think if you can keep hold of your key players, do you think that Brentford can survive in the Premier League next season?
There's no reason why we can't. No, I'm not under no illusions. It's going to be tough. But if you look at Sheffield United 2 years ago, they did absolutely amazing. Leeds United this year have been an absolute breath of fresh air. And I certainly think that we're going to be a breath of fresh air as well. The way we play is Premier League standard. The quality might not be there, but the way we play is a breath of fresh air to the Premier League for sure. But I'm under no illusions. If we finish 17th, I'll be happy. But there's no reason why we can't finish 14th, even 12th maybe.
Yeah. And I mean, just for the first season, just to consolidate yourself, just to stay in the league, I think most fans would be happy with. But obviously, Clive is a Brentford fan, so we're not going to do a Premier League team of the season today. We're going to do a Championship team of the season. But if we do this next year, Clive will be doing a Premier League team of the season. So there we go. But we'll get on into your team then, Clive. Who have you gone for in goal?
For goal, I've chosen Tim Krul from Norwich. There's a host of others that I could have picked, but overall, Krul he's experienced, and his experience has helped Norwich over the line, I think. It's helped them big time to become champions again, which is why I picked him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think, a very well-known goalkeeper in the Premier League as well, played for many Premier League clubs, and been a very good career for him in football. But we'll move out to the right-hand side then in your back four. Who have you gone for at right back?
Right back is Swansea's Connor Roberts. I've chosen him for his versatility. He played in the game against us yesterday, and he was playing much further upfield. He's a great defender. He's solid. His passing is great. Would I have him in a Brentford team? I don't know, but he's certainly borderline. Certainly one of the best right backs in the Championship, in my opinion, anyway. And the main reason I picked him is because of his versatility.
Yeah. A good player. Obviously, Swansea couldn't beat you in the playoff final, so they've got another season in the Championship. But let's move into your centre backs then. Your first of your 2 centre backs.
First of them, Hanley, again from Norwich, a good, solid player. well, what more can I say? He's a good, solid, tall, big-built centre-back, which is exactly what you want. And again, alongside Tim Krul, he's one of the reasons why Norwich ended up champions, because they were really, really difficult to score against.
Yeah. I've definitely heard good things about this player. Been a really, really good player for his club. Your second centre back then, who have you picked?
Second centre back is another Swansea player, Bournemouth player, Cameron Carter-Vickers. He's not their player. He's on loan from Tottenham. He's a young lad, and he's got a damn good future in front of him. He was pretty solid against us in the 4 games that he played against us. And I say he's a very young lad. He's only early 20s, 22, I think, maybe 23. He's got a good future ahead of him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've heard good things about this lad as well, and the Championship seem to be saying, what's coming out, that he's got a really bright future ahead of him, and only 23 years old. Perhaps he'll go back to Spurs or try and move away, because he wants to be at Spurs. But
well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what. Our defenders are starting to push on in age a bit. Now, whether Tottenham will bring him on and play him next season in the Premier League, I don't know. But if they don't, I'd have him in Brentford's team for sure.
Yeah.
Not on loan though. We'd have to buy him.
Yeah, I agree. We'll move on to the left-hand side then. Who's gone for at left back?
Well, the one and only, the best left back in the division, someone that I know that you want in your West Ham team, Rico Henry. Rico was injured this season, and he missed a big part of it. If he wasn't injured, there's not a shadow of a doubt, Jake, that we would have gone up automatic. He's so pacey. He can run up that wing. He can put good balls in. He can score goals. He can run back. He can put in crucial tackles. He is the best left back outside of the Premier League. And unfortunately, I don't think he'll be with us next year. He came back from injury for the first game against Bournemouth. He played in the second half. But then after that, he didn't even make the bench for the other 2 games. And I hope I'm reading it wrong, but I'm reading it that we've already had an offer for him and he's going to be going. I hope I'm wrong, and I don't think it'll be West Ham either, mate. I think it'll be Aston Villa. It'll be he was with Dean Smith at Walsall. He followed Dean Smith to Brentford, and I do think that Aston Villa is going to take him off our hands.
Yeah.
Get to say, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. I definitely. This is a player that I highly, highly rate, and you know that, and everyone watching knows that as well. Fantastic player, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
versatile, all of it, and that's really interesting for you to say. If he wouldn't have got injured, you would have got automatic promotion. He was that good this season.
He was that good, yeah. I doubt if there's a Brentford fan who would disagree with that, Jake. Rico, he's a future England player, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, yeah. I completely agree. Fantastic player with a bright future ahead of him. We'll move into your midfield then.
Jake, there is one thing I will say about Rico. He's extremely injury prone. We bought him as a crock and built up his fitness and everything. He's had a couple of injuries and long-term injuries as well. So that is one thing against him. But that takes nothing away from his play, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we are used to injury-prone players at West Ham United. But yeah, fantastic player. And if he can get that out of his game, do you think that the sky's the limit for him?
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting analysis. We'll move into your midfield then. Who was the first of your 2 in the middle of the park in the centre of midfield?
Well, a player that when we played him, he totally impressed me, and all the commentary was all you could hear was the name Dewsbury-Hall, and it's Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall from of Luton. Again, another loan player. He's on loan from Leicester City, and I've got no doubt whatsoever that he will be in the Leicester team next year, and he will be lighting up the Premier League. His passing is incredible. You know, his distribution's just spot on. He can put tackles in. Against us, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Interesting. Sounds like a fantastic young player. In this team, there's a lot of up and coming players that you think could do really well in the Premier League in the coming years.
Yeah, most of my team that I picked are youngsters, early 20s.
Yeah. Who is your second central midfielder in the middle of the park then, Clive?
A young German lad, a Brentford player, and his name is Vitaly Janelt. He came in, we signed him from Bochum, from the German second division last season, or for the start of this season. He was in and out of the team because Norgard's our main central midfielder. Norgard became injured. Janelt then got his chance, and he's absolutely blown us away. He's what I call an old school midfielder. He doesn't mind getting in with a hard tackle. He's got a really, really good future ahead of him for sure. His first season in English football, he's just taken to it like a duck to water.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, I've heard this is a really good player, a kind of a rock in the centre of Brentford's midfield. And is it crucial that you can have him going into the Premier League next season?
Absolutely, yeah. Without a doubt, he will be a regular starter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fantastic player. But we'll move on out to the flanks then. But we'll start out on the right-hand side. Who's your player in the right midfield position?
Norwich's Emiliano Buendia, absolutely brilliant player. He's Premier League. He played Premier League last season. I don't think Norwich will keep hold of him. I think one of the big boys will come in for him. I'd certainly love him in our team without a shadow of a doubt. You know how much I rate Saeed Benrahma. Well, Buendia is certainly on a par with Saeed, without a doubt.
Yeah, this player was very, very close to lighting up the Premier League when Norwich were in the when they were in the Premier League last season. You know, him and Pukki, they did well on their day. Yes, they went down, but on their day, he looks like a really tricky player, and then Pukki, those two together looked like a real force to be reckoned with, which all Premier League sides are going to have to deal with next season.
Yeah. Absolutely they are, yeah, but I really don't think that Buendia will be with Norwich. He's going to be a multi-million-pound signing for one of the bigger boys, I think. Yeah. Maybe someone like Tottenham, who's going to obviously need to strengthen their squad big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. It could be somewhere that he could be off too, but you know, we will just have to wait and see. So we'll move out onto the left-hand side then, and this player rings a bell to me, but Clive, give us an analysis on this player on the left-hand side then.
Arnault Danjuma from Bournemouth, a really tricky little player, got loads of skills, pretty damn good at nutmegging players. He's, again, another youngster, and he's got a Premier League future in front of him. I think Bournemouth are really going to struggle to keep hold of him. What sort of teams sign him, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be one of the big boys or one of the little teams like West Ham or something sign him. I don't know. I'd have him in our team for sure. But then again, because you made it difficult for me by saying only 3 from each team, I would have had Sergi Canos in my team of the season, but I wasn't allowed him because I'm only allowed 3. So Danjuma, without a doubt, and I'd certainly have him in Brentford's team all day long.
Yeah, I like it. Right then, so these are the players that are going to be a little bit more familiar to you people watching this at home. Now, some of you might well have heard of all of these players, but these two you would definitely have heard of. This is a very, very good strike force up front. But who's the first? Oh, hello. Oh, I apologise there. Oh, man, don't worry. Who is the first of your two strikers then?
Well, I'm saving the best till last. The first of my strikers is Blackburn's Adam Armstrong. 28 goals in 40 games, I think. He's been an absolute star for Blackburn. Blackburn's an average, mediocre team at best. Without him, without Armstrong, I think they may have been having a bit of a relegation battle, maybe even gone down as well. To score as many goals as he has in such a mediocre, I won't say a poor team, such a mediocre team, to score 28 goals, that's damn good going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think if he played the full season, he could well have scored more than Ivan Toney.
Wow. Interesting that. I'm a fantastic player that we've been linked with, as well as the next player as well. Come on then, your favourite player in this team. I can imagine some of you can already guess who it is. Who's your second striker?
One and only Ivan Toney. One and only Ivan Toney. What a man. What a man. He can score goals. His work rate is unbelievable. When we sold Ollie Watkins last year, it was a case of who on earth are we going to get to replace him? We replaced him, no disrespect to Ollie whatsoever, because Ollie was brilliant, but we've replaced him with far, far better. Ollie was on that level, but Ivan is on that level. A definite contender for England, maybe not if he plays for us. If he goes to one of the big boys, definite contender for an England striker. His work rate's phenomenal. He gets back. He defends as well if he has to. And he's not a clumsy defender either. He's put in some good challenges. But I say his work rate, his goals, his whole attitude is just absolutely spot on. And he was quite rightly and pretty obviously chosen as Brentford's Player of the Year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he is a goal scorer, scoring a shed load of goals this season.
Yeah. One point he was signed from Northampton, I believe, to Newcastle when Rafa Benitez was in charge of Newcastle. Benitez got rid of him because he said, Ivan Toney, he's not a goal scorer. He won't do a job for us. So they got rid of him. How he's rammed those words down Rafa Benitez's neck.
Yeah. I mean, his stats are completely brilliant in the Champions League. Of all the games, 30 odd goals, 10 assists, just a fantastic player. But who is going to lead this side out? Who's going to put all of these tactics together to make this a successful side? Who is your manager?
None other than Brentford's manager, Thomas Frank. I didn't just pick him just because he's Brentford, because Daniel Farke has been a great manager for Norwich. But with Brentford's top players being sold last year, Thomas Frank had not an impossible job, but his job was made so much harder. But he's just come back and he's a phenomenal manager, or coach, as he likes to be called. He's cool in front of the cameras. You ask him a question, and he doesn't just come out with an answer. He mulls out. You can see him mulling that question around in his head, and he thinks about it, and then he comes out with his answers. He's not a referee, critic, or anything like that. He's just a top man, a top man. And he's going to be another pleasure for the Premier League.
Yeah, and he's of course been successful because he's led Brentford to the first Premier League promotion or Championship promotion of the Premier League. Yeah,
this is our first time in the so-called Premier League, but it's our first time in the top English football top flight since 1947.
Wow. A long time coming. And I'm I'm sure you will enjoy it next season. But just before we end things off, I would like to thank our sponsors for this series, the Blowing Bubbles magazine. Here we go. You can check out their link in the description down below. And if you use the discount code Jake Cox at checkout, where is it? There it is. When you buy a 11 magazine subscription, you can get a £5 off using that code. So I'd highly recommend it. You can click the link and find all the details in the description down below. Clive, any last thoughts?
The only last thought I've got, Jake, is to say thank you to you for inviting me onto your shows periodically. Absolutely loved it. You are a star in the making. Gary Lineker better watch out. And I'm looking forward to talking Premier League football with you next season, as well as taking 6 points off of West Ham, of course.
No, I liked that. Thank you very much for the first bit. And yeah, of course, we will be talking Premier League football with you next season. And you know, you said the compliments first, and then just slide in. Yeah, we'll get 6 points off you next season.
Football banter is what it's about.
Yeah, I like it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for Clive for coming on. But
thank you.
Just before we go, let's review Clive's team. In goal, we've got Tim Krul, Connor Roberts at right back, Grant Hanley and Cameron Carter-Vickers of the two centre-backs. Out on the left-hand side of the defence is Rico Henry, fantastic player. The two central midfielders, Vitaly Janelt and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Out on the flanks then, on the right is Emiliano Buendia. Out on the left is Arnault Danjuma. And then the strike force of Adam Armstrong and Ivan Toney. Especially them strikers, doesn't get much better than that. And of course, the manager, Thomas Frank. There we go. Pretty good championship team. If you've enjoyed today's video, drop a like on it. Subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you very much, Clive, for coming on.
Nice one, Jake. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. From me, come on your irons, and we'll see you very, very soon.